Welcome to a fabulous presentation about how to give a presentation for the IPro Network. I'm Tonya Hofmann and I'm your host today. And I have been giving this presentation for about a good month and a half. I know. So this is all kind of new, but that's how easy it is too. So if I could do it, you could do it. So stop laughing and get ready. Get a piece of paper and a pen. So we're going to start off by really talking about a significant thing that makes a presentation believable and fun and understandable. So we're going to go over some presentation skills. Now, what do I know about this? Well, I actually own the Public Speakers Association, so I've been speaking professionally for a long time, and these are the skills that I learned work not only the best in just presenting, but also works the best at selling, okay? So the first thing you need to do, and this is always the hardest thing about presenting. It's always one of the hardest things about giving a presentation, and that is to remember to smile. I know, we think that we'll be able to do it, but it's actually a learned skill. Most people, when they give a presentation, they get serious, and they start, their eyebrows get really heavy. And they're just like, this is what you need to know, right? And as soon as you do that, then you're actually pushing people away. You're distancing yourself, because who wants to listen and follow somebody who isn't smiling? So the first thing you need to do is relax, you know, kind of wiggle around and just open up and smile. So when you start looking at the opportunities to present this presentation, you also have to remember there's different personalities that are listening, okay? And they're looking for different clues as to, is this a company that I'm gonna really be, you know, interested in? And first of all, like everyone knows, they trust people that they like. And that's why I wanna emphasize smiling, so really emphasize it up to the front, because you have to break that barrier. You also need to be yourself. Now, if you're more of a buttoned up type of person, you know, then you could be buttoned up, right? But you still have to come across as someone that's approachable. Okay, so approachability is such a huge factor in presenting. Now, the next thing is not getting anything perfect. And I know that seems like so counterproductive, but it really is one of the biggest, without a lack of a better word, tricks, okay? When you're giving a presentation, if it's polished and it's beautiful, everything is memorized, everything flows perfectly, you use big words that people are like, wow, I don't know what that word means, right? When you do that, you actually, again, distance yourself from the person who's listening to the presentation. So you want to mess up. You want to make it appear that they could do it, because really none of this is rocket science, okay? Most of it, you're just kind of following along the PowerPoint. So you've got to let go of the memorization. You've got to talk from your heart and not your head. So any of the really amazing speakers you've heard from before, you could tell they're just talking, right? And what seems like they're just kind of coming up off the top of their head is because they're letting it flow out of them versus reading a script. So even though I'm going to show you what to say and kind of guide you what to say, it's a guide. It's not a, this has to be done and said this way, okay? You've got to put your twist on it, because then it's coming from you and not from a piece of paper. If it comes from a piece of paper, people won't believe you, because it's not coming from you. It's coming from a piece of paper. They don't trust a piece of paper. They will trust you, especially when you smile, okay? So when you're walking through this, one of the big points to even warming them up even more, because it's really what you're doing, right? You're taking that new audience and you're warming them up. They're making them go, wow, I really like this person. I believe her. I trust her. I understand what she's saying, okay? So the first thing is you've got to slow down. And you can tell there's some people, I won't mention any names in the company, they talk really fast and you go through this whole presentation and you're like, wow, that was like in 15 minutes. That's amazing. Slow it down, because people have to have time to absorb what you just said. So think about every time you hit a point, you pause. See? So you just thought, point, oh, pause, oh, good. It works. So you always take that step and give a nice solid pause so that people have a chance to write it down and think about it, and then you go on. This is not a race. It's not a race to see how fast you can get through it, okay? The last thing, well, one of the last things, is when you're going through a presentation, words tell, but stories sell. So yes, every one of these presentations is the same, right? I will be showing you the PowerPoint. It's the same PowerPoint every single one of you has to use. It's, you know, it's written in. You've got to use their PowerPoint, okay? But you have to embellish your stories in it. Because when people hear a story, it's more relatable. Your information is now relatable. They can connect it, and people remember stories. You won't believe how many times I'll walk into the room like, oh my gosh, so how's such and such or whatever, right? And I'm like, how did they know about that? Because it was a story I told. People listen to stories. So smile, talk from your heart. Don't be old Mr. Memorizer. Loosen up, right? Enjoy the presentation. Give great stories. And you may be going, I don't have a story. Every one of you has a story, okay? And you're like, yeah, but your story is so much better than my story. Oh, stop, all right? And if there's like a point that you're like, I really don't have a story for this section, you can use somebody else's story. But as soon as you've got your own story, use your own. Because again, it's more believable if you're talking about your own experiences. You know, your experiences with your family is so powerful. When you're giving a webinar, you're giving a presentation in front of a group, it's okay. And it's actually really brilliant when something messes up. Because now people feel like, oh, they don't have to be perfect either. It's such a huge human condition that we want to be perfect and we want to do things right because we think everyone is judging us. What they're really doing is just comparing themselves to you, right? And what you don't want them to do is go, well, she's just so perfect. I can't be that person. No, you can't be that person. You have to be yourself. Everyone loves you for you. They don't love you because you're trying to be someone else. Got it? All right, so let's start going through the PowerPoint. So let me share the screen. All right, so this, I'm going to give y'all the link at the end to find the PowerPoints, because probably a lot of you are like, I don't even know where to get that. So I'll send you that instructions in just a minute. So of course, when the very first slide is about welcoming everybody. So as people are coming into your presentation, to your webinar, now if you're doing a webinar like what I just did, you can create it so that you start with yourself, right, and say hello. That's awesome. People love to see eyeballs, but you can start it with this PowerPoint slide. Again, if you're doing a webinar, I would suggest doing it with your face first and then going to the slide. Now, in an event, if you're holding a meetup group or, you know, an in-home party or something, then this could be on the TV screen or the projection, waiting for people as they come in, okay? So then, of course, when you start, you welcome them, and with a big smile, I'm so glad that you're here. Put however your spin is that you want to do it, okay? Then, So we experiencing a digital revolution. Now what you don't want to do is read all the slides. Now people will sit there and they will continue to read everything as you're talking. So you do have to remember that they can't read and listen at the same time. So when I usually are like, we are experiencing a digital revolution. Wow, it's just amazing and I do something very fluffy because I know that they're already reading all the way around that little world, okay? So instead of, going, time of unprecedented change, technology is replacing our old economy, let them read that. So explain some, this is a great point to put a story, okay? So, and remember, stories are not 30-minute stories. 30 minutes, right? A story is like a minute at the most. Short, sweet, to the point. Oh my gosh, I know, I can barely keep up with how fast everything is moving. I remember when I was playing Atari. So you can say something along those lines. And what's great is because it's not a very deep, intimate type of story, they could be reading for those who love reading. For those who are audio listeners, they have still something to hear while the other people are catching up because they're still reading, okay? So always remember that you got different types of people that are listening, and what is important to them is important to them. So you just got to, kind of talk about all of it. So that's what I would suggest doing on this slide. This one, millions around the world is struggling. Now, I always stop. I don't read anything else because it says just that. And I always say, yep, we all feel that. So now you're trying to be relatable to your audience, right? To those people. And if you know them, you can say, yeah, Rita, yeah, I heard you, lost your job. That, this is what it's all about, right? Or, so if you know people, now you don't want to pull poor Rita out in front of strangers, right? So, have some, be careful. But if you have that opportunity, if it's like all families and friends, then, you can always kind of choose people and give them as even examples of how the world's struggling. If you're struggling, you can use that. There's nothing wrong with letting people know that you're also vulnerable and that, this is the reason that you chose IProNetwork, is that you're tired of struggling. Have you or someone been affected? So this goes really along with the first one. And so you can kind of combine them really quickly, okay? So yeah, not only are people struggling, but everyone is affected. I'm sure you've got family and friends that they don't know what they're gonna do. Now, if you are struggling, this is a really good point at this slide here, is to give people a quick synopsis of your struggle. So I usually cover, my husband went blind 2 years ago. Our house was destroyed by a water pipe bust. And man, we thought our retirements were safe. Tell me what doctors, hospitals, and an entire house gone does to your savings account. So see how fast I was able to say that story? So those are the kind of things that you want, is just think of short little, yeah, this is what I'm going through and why I chose IProNetwork, right? And again, you notice I'm not reading all the stuff on the screens, okay? Now, this is massive opportunity of success. I don't know what they're trying to say in the little gray box. I always skip that part because it doesn't make any sense to me. So sometimes you have to remember that someone else makes these slides. So I'm sure they had something really cool to say at that point, but for me, I just talk about how massive the opportunity is for success. And I usually let people know, aren't you ready for some success? Now, this is a great point I want to bring out real quick. So you say, oh, this is a massive opportunity for success. Now, you just heard me go massive. You want to not, this is a massive opportunity for success. IProNetwork, prepare you how to become a professional digital entrepreneur. So you want to inflect your voice, okay? Stir it up. Think about that you've got a giant pot of gumbo, right? And you're stirring it around. You want to make it exciting. So there's going to be points where you're going to soften, right? When you talk about struggling, you're going to soften. but massive, you want a massive opportunity for success. Now, this is your point to be able to point to your audience, because you want them engaged. You want them saying yes to you, okay? You already said, are you struggling? Oh my gosh. So you're getting them to say yes. This is another one. Oh, are you ready for it? So you can say, it's massive opportunity for success. Aren't you ready for success? Get them nodding again. So the more you can get them nodding yes, by the end, they're just yes. They're just used to being yes, 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 okay? 3 industries for success: shopping, learning, and earning. All right, doesn't that sound fun? Let's talk about it some more. So remember, these slides don't have to take a long time. Now, you may not know any of these fabulous people, okay? But you could point them out, and you can say, this is what I love saying, is, oh my gosh, it all comes down to the leadership team. You've got to have a solid company base. A solid company base, so that the company will be here for a long time. Most of the people in this screen have been doing business together for like 11 years. That tells you a lot. Mr. and Mrs. Pacheco had a dream. They had this vision that they wanted to bring around. And most of the people on here are huge philanthropists. I know personally that they're huge philanthropists, which is not an easy word to say, by the way. I love to also point out on this screen that Scott Warren, this is a great person to point out in this slide. So Scott Warren is part of the Warren Group. They are the lawyers for every huge network marketing, MLM, direct sales company out there. And they have never had any of their companies gone after by the government. That is massive. Because if someone in your audience is concerned, right? They hear about other, especially cryptocurrency type of companies going under, right? Being closed up by the governments because they really are pyramid schemes. You want to separate us from those. So I always point out Scott Warren. That Mr. Warren has made sure that none of his companies, go down because of the government. And he was so impressed with us. He didn't just have us, hire him. He joined our entire leadership team. And I mean, to me, that's the most mind-blowing thing I've ever heard. Then about the advisory board members. So everyone's heard of Kevin Harrington. Remember, he was on the Shark Tank. He was one of the first original sharks. He was the creator of As Seen on TV. We all know those products. He created the infomercial. Oh my gosh. So this guy came to us and said, I want to be a part of what you're doing. You need to pause at that moment, right? You just gave them a lot of information. They were trying to remember, because a lot of times people don't have real good memory of who they saw early on. They just remember the people they're seeing right now on TV. So let them just kind of think about it. But they've all seen something that says, as seen on TV. They've all watched an infomercial before, right? So I try to hit those 3 big points, and that he came to us, wanting us to get involved with us instead of us going after him. Okay. And then on top of that, we have another advisory board member. Okay. On top of that, another advisory board member, Mr. McNulty. Now, of course, people won't know who McNulty is, right? So you have to kind of emphasize who he is. He was the creator of the first e-commerce website called shopping.com. That sold to Compact. Shows you how long ago it was. I always throw in something funny, right? Always want to keep people engaged, because if you just throw out fact, you're going to lose a lot of the people. Now, the fact people will love it, but remember, those factual people, the detail-oriented people, they're going to be reading the screen. They're not even listening to you. So you're satisfying both people at the same time. Yeah, he sold it to Compact. That was a long time ago for $300 million. Well, he came to us and wanted to be involved with IProNetwork. So we've got 2 massive connections to amazing men who wanted to be involved. Now, this is a super simple business model. I like to emphasize super and simple, okay? Because that's what people really are looking for. They don't need anything complicated. And especially when you start talking about e-currency, right? Cryptocurrency, a lot of people think of it as complicated. So you have to wipe it out of their brain that it is not complicated. It's super simple, okay? We got e-commerce, e-learning, and e-currency. So let me break it down for you. So e-commerce is disrupting the marketplace. Oh my gosh, and again, I don't cover all of the points. The analytical people are sitting there reading it. You cover the other points. Oh my gosh, I walked into Sears the other day. Poor Sears, it looks so bad, right? So I always have some little funny thing to say about, oh gosh, Sears is really, hurting out there. But it isn't all retail, because it's going from brick and mortar to click and order. And then, you may want to use a little quick story from your experience, right? Oh man, I used to always go to the local stores and buy everything, but now I just get boxes in. They just show up in my door all the time. So you can be a part of this trend, okay? And then no one's really bucking the system, because they're projecting, so I cut it down to the chase. By 2020, in 2 years, e-commerce is going to be a $4 trillion industry. Now, don't you want to be part of that industry? So again, I'm getting them to shake their heads. Yes, of course I want to be a part of a $4 trillion industry in 2 years, right? Then we talk about online education. Now, a lot of people don't even know about it. Even here, Inc.com even says it's the quiet industry. But it's a massive industry. Not only are you have the colleges and the universities all going online for years now, where most people don't even show up to a classroom anymore, but then you've got just learning in general about everything, especially about business. Now, this is a great point, is because now you're setting them up to understand that that's what our learning is about business learning, okay? So it says especially about business is, this is a huge market, and it's expected to go to $240 billion by 2023. Again, a fast-moving, forward-moving industry. And then, of course, nobody can deny the craze that's out there right now with e-currency. Now, this is the point that I love talking about, why ours is a little bit different, and we can go into it further. So I'm already setting them up, right? I'm going to let y'all know. So you can say something. Now, remember, there's things you can and cannot say. Never, ever use the word investment. You are not a financial advisor. You do not have, well, maybe you're not, you do not have a license to have anybody invest in anything, okay? So they're buying packages. They're not investing. The other part is no guarantee, right? Don't say, oh my gosh, or even huge projections. Oh my gosh, Bitcoin's at, 15,000, ours is going to go to 15,000. No, you can't say things like that. You can't even project, oh my gosh, ours is at, 7 cents right now. It's going to be 10 cents tomorrow. I mean, so just keep out any of the what might happen. Now you can let people know, go look at coinmarketcap.com. So that's a great website to send people to, because they can actually go and see our currency and what the value is, and they can see that it's actually a currency and it's actually on an exchange. Okay, so it's a great way to kind of validate it for a lot of people. And then, so you're going to send them to coinmarketcap.com and tell them the call number is, or call letters is PROC. So pro currency, right? PROC. Now, when you're in a live presentation, when you tell people that, they are going to go look it up right then. I mean, everybody's got a phone. Every time I do a presentation, somebody's looking down at their phone and showing everybody, oh, look, yeah, it is on there. They're like literally showing everybody their phone, right? So you just got to expect that. And don't get flustered because that's excitement. You just built an actual excitement level in that audience member for them to go look it up, okay? So it is always a super positive. Now, what I do say at this point is, well, you know that cryptocurrency is taking over the world. And especially in markets like Asia, Africa, South America, and so many other areas, it's really needed because most people don't even have a banking option, right? They're having to put their money in a mattress or a jar. And trying to send money to anybody is just impossible. The fees are so high. So cryptocurrency really is an innovative marketplace. And you cannot deny when they say by 2022, it's going to be worth $5 trillion. Now you have to know what you're actually looking at when you're looking at cryptocurrency, because a lot of them are fake out there. A lot of them may not even, you know, the real coins, right? Because I try to avoid the word fake. So rewind that, scratch that out. Because once you put the word fake in their head, you know, then they can't get it out. So a lot of the coins out there are purely speculative. And that's what I love about ours. Ours isn't. Ours is about slow growth, being there so that it grows naturally by people using the coins, wanting the coin and using the coin. And I'm going to show you how that works in just a minute. So that's what you could tell them, right? It's something that we use, that people want, and they get to use. Versus speculative, and someone may not know what speculative is. So just let them know that is, and some people like to use the words pump and dump. I like to use the words pump and dump because it's fun to say. And people like it, they're like, oh, what's that? So that's when you buy low and you dump it when it's high. You buy low and you dump it when it's high. So that's why most of those coins are like all over the map, which is great if you're trading. So see, this is another thing. You can set them up on the trading software coming, right? So by saying, yeah, you know, all of that pump and dump and everything, well, it's great if you're trading, but we want our coin value to go have a growth, a natural growth, where we are actually wanting to use it. Okay? And again, remember, it's a lot of information. Like I just gave you a whole bunch. You got to stop and think about it and process it. And remember, I am recording this, so you can watch it again. So this one I love because you can really re-emphasize about Kevin Harrington. And you can even tell him, oh my gosh, there's a great presentation on YouTube with Kevin Harrington talking about IProNetwork. He's actively promoting pro-currency all across the globe. And it's amazing what he's already, I just can't even wait. So, you know, a lot of these things we don't know yet what's actually going to happen. So just say, I can't wait to find out what's this going to happen, you know, long term. So let's find out what makes IPro unique. So this one goes pretty quick, right? So let me talk to you about the Pro Rewards. So everybody's got a smartphone, right? Everyone's like, yeah, of course. It says you can download an app because this is the first app ever designed where you get rewarded back in pro currency. The first app to give a reward in cryptocurrency, in our pro currency. And then I love telling the little short story. Remember, everything needs to have a story connected to it as much as possible. And you could use your own experience, right? I love using Southwest Airlines. I travel a whole lot, and I still am like halfway to getting a free ticket. I'm so done with points. So that would be, you know, something like that. So if you've got a scenario, or like you've got a Discover card and you got like $4 back in cash. So this is not only, you know, rewarded back in cryptocurrency, but that value may be able to go up. And see, I use the word may, right? I don't promise anything. But who knows how much that will be worth one day. Okay. Oh, and then the Pro Mall. Now, there's two things that's going to happen with the Pro Mall. The people that love shopping are going to see incredible value, right? Because it's going to be something fun. So now they took that cryptocurrency that they thought was just kind of digital and fake, that's just out there, it's just bubbling somewhere. They could actually go buy something with it. So you just now made it real for them. Okay. The other people that don't really care for shopping at all, you need to emphasize that this is, again, a way for people to buy real products with our currency, with pro currency, because then that in their mind is going to solidify, oh yeah, look, all these people, they're going to be, buying things and wanting to earn, have more of this currency, which makes the value go up. Okay. It also makes it very steady as well. So both parties will see something in this slide. Okay. So don't overlook it and pass by it really quickly, because it's a very important part of the presentation. So, oh my gosh, it's Pro Mall. We're going to have the very first mall online where you can use 100% of it has to be paid for in cryptocurrency. And the only cryptocurrency we're going to take, you got it right, is pro currency. Okay, so let's see what we have to offer. Here's an example of a beautiful purse. And ladies, we're going to have Coach. I'm so excited, right? So high-end designer items at a fraction of the price. So say it's at Macy's for $250, Amazon for $168. We'll sell it for $67. And remember, the only way someone will be able to buy this purse is they have to get pro currency in order to buy it. Here's another example, a duvet from $372. And here's a beautiful, stand. You can get it half off. So we'll have all kinds of products, from designer clothing to houseware items to makeup, all kinds of amazing things that anybody all over the world can buy. But remember, you can only buy it with pro currency. Excuse me. So this leads you right into the packages, right? And so when you're talking about the product packages, I don't want you to get all squeamish at this point, because a lot of people don't like talking about the selling part. And I know some of y'all are going, yeah, okay. But if you keep it fun and you make it sound like, oh my gosh, I can't believe you wouldn't want this, then they're just going to be saying yes the whole time. Because remember, the whole time you have them saying yes, right? They're agreeing with you the whole time. So don't make it suddenly go, ooh, this person's starting to get weird on me. Keep it happy, smiling, fun, right? So you're like, oh yeah, let's look at these packages. So here's the basic package. You can get going with us for only $100. Now you're going to get 120 training videos. It's all kinds of amazing information on your business, how to have marketing, store management, store setup, product sourcing, all the stuff people want to do on e-commerce. And can you imagine 120 videos? Now, you could use an experience. You're like, yeah, the last video said I spent $100 on. I got 2 videos. So you can say something fun like that, right? So it emphasize how much they get in this package, because it really is huge. And then you want to stop here and go, and so lower your voice a little bit and say, you get 100% back, rebated in pro currency. So you're going to buy this incredible package of training videos, and 100% is going back to you in pro currency at a value that they set for that week. So you can always give them what the weekly value is. Like right now it's 7.5 cents per coin. Each week it has a tendency to be going up. But again, we don't speculate on what that will look like. But of course, everyone has already looked at their phone, right? Make sure you look at it beforehand too, so you can say, oh yeah, look, it's already 2 cents up in the exchange today. So it creates a little excitement, right? But you're only showing facts, right? You're only showing real numbers. I like just showing people real numbers. I don't like to show them anything else. Then we have the intermediate, $500. And yes, you get $500 back in pro currency. I like to throw that in right up front. And you get more videos, best-selling rankings, scanning, tools, product pricing, amazing amount of information. And then you're gonna move pretty quickly into the advanced, $2,000. This one is incredible. So you get everything from before, plus the ECom Jam, which we'll go over in just a minute. But the I Buy Right store is something you need to really look at. It's a completely turnkey operation for an e-commerce store. They handle everything. You just turn it on, put a name to it. You can even pop up a logo if you want, and then you're done. All you have to do is market it. And then that money just goes right into your bank account. They do all of the product sourcing. They put all the products up onto the website. They discount it. They keep up with shipping, fulfillment. So they ship it and handle all of that. Any customer issues, they handle everything for you. You literally just market it. That sounds pretty good, right? And then it says, and it's $105 a month per store that you want to launch. We have 4 right now. We have more coming. We've got a organic store, a pet care, and a lot of times I'll even throw what they're like, right? An organic store, kind of like not the food part, but the regular part of Whole Foods. We've got a pet care one, which is kind of like PetSmart. We've got a beauty one like Sephora or Ulta, and then we've got a Christian store like Mardell's. Okay, so those are the 4: Christian, pet, beauty, and organic. Now, I always look at kind of who I'm talking to. If they look more like pet people, I'll put that one first. If they look more like beauty people or Christian or organic, I just kind of lead with that, okay? Okay, and then you quickly switch over and you're like, so, and the ECom Jam, you definitely want this because this teaches you all about email marketing, converting sales pages, store customization, amazing information. And remember, and I tell them every single time, $2,000 rebate in pro currency at today's rate. And you can even remind them what that means, right? Then we have the Accelerator Program. You get everything that I just talked about, plus Ecom Pro at $3,000. And then if you have one of the stores, it's $105 a month. And you get it all rebated in pro currency. So you get the I Buy Right store, and the Ecom Pro gives you more about store setup, product sourcing, high traffic, driving that whole traffic, right? Store management and scaling. And then our professional package is $6,000. Now, if you come in at the $6,000 package, you'll want to say, and that's the one that I joined in at. If you came in at one of the other ones, then just don't mention it. Because you always want to start people as high as you can, right? And so you get everything I just talked about, plus all the information about Amazon, Fulfillment by Amazon. That's what FBA stands for, Fulfillment by Amazon. And you're like, yeah, so you'll learn how to link traffic, affiliate network, cross promotions, product ads, and you can just kind of read down it. Again, the guys that are analytical are going to be reading them, okay? And says, oh my gosh, can you imagine when you just send your products to Amazon and they're fulfilling it for you? So remember, this is a huge opportunity to get so much information and have your own e-commerce store. And for those that may want to do even more, we do have even larger packages. Now, I do throw that out each time, okay? Because you just never know. Someone's like, oh, I could do more than 6,000? Sure you can, okay? So you can always help people with that. And then you're like, oh my gosh, now remember I told you about all that speculation that's going on? How would you like to trade? right? Instead of fiat currency, right? The currencies from the countries where they have micro trades every day. Here, you know what kind of trading, crazy trading that's going on in the e-commerce space, right? I mean, excuse me, in the cryptocurrency space. See, you can mess up and it's all okay. So it's really making it super easy for you to trade. It literally, you put it up onto your computers, you can look at it anywhere because it's not on your computer. You don't have to have it running on a special computer like Forex or some of the other trading softwares that do currencies throughout the world, right? This one's through cryptocurrency. So when you're trading is on the internet and you have full control. And what's great is it's happening 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, right? And versus the other trading on Forex is that be there at 4:30 in the morning and it shuts off. So this is really great because it's just always working for you because people are trading day, night, because it's all over the world trading. Now this has been tested for the last 4 years and you can set everything that you want it to do, including if you want it to be low, medium, or high risk, how much you're wanting to trade per day, right? You could set a percentage of the amount that you put in there. You have really a lot of control, and we'll have so many training videos and webinars, live webinars to teach you how to trade yourself, because a lot of you probably even want to do that. So if you've got a lot of analytical guys, I would really spend a little bit more time on this section, and ladies too, that might be really interested in the trading platform, okay? So you can kind of get beefed up about that. Talk about Bittrex is going to be trading with Bittrex. So, you know, like if this is not out yet, it's going to be here soon. Now, one of the things you can talk about on this screen is, now just imagine we're going to launch this to only 1,000 people at the beginning. 1,000 people has to buy it at $5,000. Now, half of it has to be in US dollars, half of it has to be in pro currency. Now, in pro currency, that's 2,500 times 1,000 is $2.5 million that'll hit the exchange that day when they go to buy it. What do you think will happen to the value of our coin? And then when they open it up to 10,000 people, and then when it's opened up to anyone, exactly. So you don't have to answer the question, you're just kind of nodding, right? And then being first to market, Airbnb, Uber, they've done amazing. They don't own a hotel, they don't own a car. Here's IProNetwork. We're giving you opportunity for e-commerce, e-learning, and e-currency. Where do you think we'll be in 5 years? Now, I know you want to make even more money because I know you've got big goals and big dreams. Now, I know for myself, I want to be, and see, this is a part where you can give them your story. Why are you in this? What do you want to happen? I've always wanted a big house, or I've always wanted to give to my children's school. I've always wanted to be a huge philanthropist. So I always say, oh, I just want to be like the leadership team and run around the world saving, and helping people and creating orphanages. That sounds like so much fun. So I wanted to make even more money than what we were just talking about. Because remember, you can make money with e-commerce, right? Having your own website, learning about business and making money online. You can make money with the trader. And then you can also, you've got the pro currency that could go up in price. So here's another way. This is a network marketing company. I would not be in it if it wasn't. So this is a really important part, is you just got to lay it out there. So just tell people, this is a network marketing. This is not MLM, by the way. This is network marketing, okay? There's components of all of them in it, but we're considered network marketing, okay? So I've learned this from Michael and Jackie Emmers, is just go right head to head and just like, oh my gosh, I just love this industry. So this is such an amazing industry. It's $250 billion industry. And it's the only industry that's created the most millionaires ever out of just normal people. And it also is about a team, because I know a lot of entrepreneurs out there struggle because they're all by themselves. This is all about team play. So the first level is just direct sales bonus. So this is just straight commissions. You sell a package, you get 10%, except for the e-trader, you get $250 because only half of it is in US dollars, right? So that is awesome. You get just straight money, but it's not like having to go sell a lipstick for $12. You're selling packages that are quite a bit more. And again, like I said, it's a team play. So when you have, say you help Kanika come in, and Kanika goes out and she signs up Susie. Well, Susie signs up the $2,000 level, Kanika gets $200, I get $400 because it's a team play. I'm helping Kanika bring in Susie. So we're all here to help each other. The binary, don't get confused, it just means you have two teams. You have a left team and a right team. And those teams go on and on and on and on down for eternity. It's not just the people you're bringing in, it's the people that they're bringing in as well, because they only have two teams also. So everybody has to go underneath each other, back and forth, back and forth. That's why binaries grow so fast, so quickly, because everyone just keeps coming in. So for this kind of example, say you have a left team and right team, so you've got your two people, one on both sides, and the rest of the team is just going crazy. You make 10% from everything that happens on your weaker side, which just means that if your left team is, say, has $20,000 in volume that week, and the right team has $30,000 that week, then you're making 10% from your left side because it had the smaller amount that week. So you'd make $2,000 off their $20,000. Okay. Then we have matching bonuses. So the matching bonuses is amazing. This is the best one ever. Okay. So I really like to emphasize this because a lot of people don't really understand how this is the biggest play in this whole compensation plan. Okay. Your people that you personally bring in is your first level, and you're going to make 10% of what they make. Then who they bring in, okay? So say you bring in Kanika. So I always try to use the same names that I used originally, right? So I brought in Kanika, and she's my first level. Kanika brought in Susie. Susie's my second level person. So I'll make 10% off of what Susie makes. And then Susie's going to bring in John. Oh my gosh, John is amazing. He goes out and he just does amazing things. I'm making 20% from John. And when John brings in, Francis, then Francis, I'm making 20% off of Francis. So same thing for you. You're going to make money off of the people as they come in. Now, let me explain why it's so huge as you go down. Because when you bring in two people, right? Those are your two people. Those are your first level. Those two people go out and they bring in two people. Now you've got four people. Those four people go out, right? And they go out and they bring in two people. Now you have 8 people on your third level. And those 8 people bring in 2 people. Now you have 16. You see how quickly it all multiplies out. That's why that's such a huge play, because it's just a massive team at the 4th level that you're making 20% on the 3rd and 4th. Crazy, crazy, crazy. And then the leadership bonuses. So as we help our team grow, then obviously then we also get extra bonuses on top of all of that we just talked about. So let's go for diamond. Now, one of the things that blew me away is that you get rewarded in your commissions. 70% is in cash and 30% is in Pro Rewards, is in Pro currency. So you're going to get that back. And so it's a way for you to actually earn extra coins without actually having to buy extra coins. I mean, is that exciting? I mean, I'm just like blown away. So as the value goes up, you probably your 30% is going to outtake your 70%. That's what we're hoping. So see, you don't have to tell them any numbers. You can just kind of say, oh my gosh, right? They get it. And then I really always emphasize the redemption period, okay? Because we want to clear out any of the pump and dumpers. So they say, yeah, remember all those pump and dumpers? We don't want those people in our company. We want to keep them away. So how do you do that? A redemption period, so that it's nice and steady. So this is going to be really appealing for a lot of people because they like that steady feeling, that foundation. So for 30 days, you can't touch your coins that they have given you. And then after that, for 20 weeks, you get 5% back. And then after that, you can take out as much as you want and turn it into US dollars or go buy it on the IPro Mall or whatever, okay? And then this screen, I've emphasized about the packages, about the weekly cap. So I always say something about, now with the packages, as you come in, there's a $50 annual activation, and that's if you want to be an independent sales associate. Okay, so you can earn commissions. So once you've activated, when you buy one of the packages, there's a weekly cap. So if you're at the $100 level, you have a weekly cap of $500 that you can make. And then as soon as you spend $400 more, boom, you're at the $500 level. Now you can make up to $2,500 a week. Yeah, okay. And then I always try to emphasize why I came at the $6,000 level, because I have a $35,000 a week cap. Nice. And then there's multiple ways to earn income. Be a customer and just get the rewards on your phone app, become an ISA and earn it through e-commerce, e-trading, and then obviously our business model. So earn your way to the top from $50,000 to $6,000. It really is that simple. You decide what works for you. So are you, I don't think so, or I really want that, phone app, or oh my gosh, I see the vision. I see how my life is no longer going to be like everybody else's, that I'm struggling, right? I know that from this point on, my life is going to change. It is not going to be the same as it was last year and the year before that. It is time. That time is over. I am moving on. So yes, I'm ready to join the team. And then if you're doing this with multiple people, you will always want other ISAs, right? You will also want to say, now go and talk to the person who brought you here today and talk to them about getting involved. We would love to have you part of our team. We do not want it to be a, hello, thanks, bye. We want it to be a building a relationship for a very long time, and we are here to help you from now on. Yay. So that's the presentation. And then, of course, you're smiling and you laugh and you clap and then you thank everybody and then you go close those sales. So, remember that at an event, right, you usually can't get people just to go and pay, but you want them to get activated. So at a live event, make sure you have laptops or tablets or both all ready to go, Wi-Fi synced or hotspot synced, right? So that people can go and fill out the form, and then they'll have to go home to activate it, most likely, okay? Because they have to get their Bitcoin information, or they have to sign up with Payza, or they have to send in the cashier's check. So it's not like a lot of times, oh, here's a lipstick, here, thanks for the cash, right? It's a little bit longer process, but instruct them what to do. They need to understand what do they need to do now, right? And then if you're on a webinar, then you should be writing down who was on, okay? Who's on, and say, oh my gosh, there's Vicky. Oh, I got to talk to Vicky. So as soon as you hang up, you close up the PowerPoint, you get on that phone and say, hey, Vicky, I saw you were on. What did you think, right? So don't wait till the next day. Don't wait for them to call you back. Right? Be proactive and help people. Yay!